Hello friends, it's me, Vivian from ThePaperLetterBlog, also known as the Chatty Penpal channel, and today we're going to make a very fun project, namely this envelope flipbook. Now, I don't know if you were able to spot it just now, but it's a different type of envelope flipbook because we're actually going to repurpose this coin envelope. At least I think it's called a coin envelope. String tied envelope, I don't know, the one that you see on the screen. You can use any envelope you like, but I like this one because it opens from the side. This will make sense in a second. So as I mentioned before, sorry for this weird zoom in, but I'm too lazy to cut it out. As I mentioned before in my previous video, I am going to be showing you a whole bunch of ideas made with repurposed envelopes. I absolutely love this because I have a bunch of junk mail laying around and we can always find ways to reuse them. So if you're also interested in that, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell and all of that, because I have many more of these videos planned, all of them with different projects. Anyway, as far as the tutorial goes, basically you take your envelope and you fold it. I didn't fold it in half. I wanted one side to be larger. As you can see, the right side is slightly smaller. And then what I did is I actually cut open the right side. Sorry for this, I need to focus. I cut open the right side so that you could open the left side with that string tied closure. And the right side was a simple tuck spot pocket. And then I'm using this collage sheet to create that outside cover. I do not have measurements for this because it kind of depends on what envelope you're using and also how you're folding your envelope. This wasn't a precise planning or anything from my part. I just went with what looked good. And then I created some sort of a small spine in the middle so that there was a little bit more space for the pocket, but unfortunately the paper was a little too flimsy, so the only reason why that washi tape is in the middle is to kind of reinforce the spine. And then I'm simply going to stitch it, I guess, into the cover. I poked 2 holes or 3 holes, and then I'm just going in with a needle and thread to keep everything together. There is no tutorial part for that, or there is no, I don't know, I'm always just doing something when I do this. There's whole bookbinding tutorials on YouTube if you want a more professional look, but this works for me, so I just do that. I'm again also reinforcing the back side with the same washi tape. Like I said, the paper was slightly too thin, so I had to make it work. You could, of course, also glue this into the flap or use some other type of adhesive to put this together, but I like this because it feels, I don't know, I like the way it looks, and I also think it's a little sturdier than when you would glue it. Makes more sense to me, at least. So here's what it looks like when we're done. I actually really like the way this looks. As you can see, I poked 3 holes into the paper and then I just went through that with a needle a couple of times. Once again, I don't know what I'm doing, but I figured this would probably hold everything together. I also decided to go with green thread because I also like the way that looks. So now you get a closer look at what we've created so far. As I said, we cut open the right side of the envelope to create that pocket. You could, of course, also have an envelope, I'm dancing, I don't know why, to have that opens from the top, but I think this is nice because it's a little different. This is my little folder with washi tape or pet tape samples that I got nearly solely from Maria from Creative Q on Instagram. We did a pet tape swap a while ago and she sent me so many. I needed a full folder to store them all. And I picked this sticker girl and I wanted to glue her on the front of the page, but she needed, I don't know, it needed something to stand out a little bit more, so I'm adding that green paper. I also wanted to tell you guys a little bit about my birthday, which was last week, but I'm talking so much about the project already that I don't know if I will have the time, but I had a wonderful birthday. Let me start by saying that. Maybe I can tell you now, actually, while we're decorating the rest of this as well. I'll try to go back and forth between my storytelling and my project. Oh yeah, I will tell you about the envelope. I forgot. The envelope, it says Vivian and then a random number. This is because this was actually my tip money envelope. We always get our tip money once every couple of weeks. And then that's why it says Vivian and a random number, because that was my tip money for the month. So yeah, I'm going in with more decorations. Many of the things you see on screen right now are Album Love handmade goodies. I am once again not sponsored, but I just have a lot of these items and I think they go together quite nicely. This is also a tissue paper that was once a gift bag actually, that I cut in half, cut in half. And I'm using that to cover up this page because it is really nice to use an envelope, but I did want to also cover part of it up to make it a little bit more cohesive and look a little nicer. So we're going back in with more decoration. This mail went to Jose, who is from the Netherlands, and it has already been received. I got a lovely message, which was very nice. I always love knowing my mail has arrived because you never know. It could be literally anywhere. I really quickly have to go check on my food. I'll be back. Okay, I could have just cut that out and you guys would have never known that I was multitasking. But yeah, okay. I'm cooking something. I think it's gonna be amazing, but I never work with recipes. I always just create my own dishes, so it's a bit of a gamble. But I'm gonna tell you anyway. I made a homemade gluten-free, lactose-free quiche or tart base because we're making a hearty pie. And then I've got caramelized onion, honey glazed chicory, goat's cheese, and yeah, basically it's gonna be like a honey glazed chicory tart. Add some chopped walnuts and hazelnuts and I think it's gonna be amazing. But okay, you guys didn't need to know that. It's fine, it's fine. I already warned you that I'm chatty. What I'm doing on screen is I'm adding some ink to the edges because that makes everything look more cohesive. It's gonna look really cool because then you've got that green kind of coming back throughout and it just looks nicer. At least I think so. So my birthday. Okay, let me go back to more random stories. My birthday was last week. I turned 30, which is very, very much a big deal. By the way, my Patreon discount is still going because I turned 30. You will get 30% off for an entire month. And you can subscribe, unsubscribe anytime, but this would actually be the perfect time to sign up because a 30% discount, you cannot beat that. So, a little plug there. But okay, my birthday. So it was on a Wednesday, which is kind of a random day. And Gijs also had to work. And because he lives in Brussels, that would mean that I would be home alone. And I wasn't having that. So I decided to go to Brussels. And because he was at work, have a nice day by myself. I was kind of nervous about that because I don't really do stuff by myself. Like, of course, chores and everything. Yeah, I do by myself. But like fun things or going out for lunch and stuff like that, I never do that alone. So I actually decided that this year is going to be the year where I do more fun things by myself, and I decided to start with that on my birthday. So I started off my day started off really lovely. Gijs, he did have breakfast with me. He picked up some pastries from the bakery across his apartment. So that was a perfect start. I meditated, I read my book, I did a little workout, and then I decided to go for lunch. Of course, I had everything planned out because trying something new, going by myself for the first time was already scary enough, but going without a plan, that's too much. No, we're not gonna do that. So I did have a plan I had a list of places I could go to. And I knew that I wanted to have lunch at this cute place. I was kind of nervous about it. I know it's silly, or for some of you, it's going to make so much sense. And for others, you're going to think like, okay, Vivian, why are you scared of going for lunch alone? But it was kind of a big deal. But this first place I went to, right when I walked in, I saw like 4 other ladies having lunch by themselves. So I felt right at ease. I even saw someone journaling, which I loved because that was actually my plan as well. I made a little birthday journal to reflect on my past year, to really stand still and look back on the positive things and the things I enjoyed and how I've grown and just, some positivity. And that's what I had planned for the day as well. But so it was nice to see someone else journaling because it made me feel more confident to do it as well. I've never journaled like outside of my house. I don't really journal that often, but it felt like a good thing to do on my birthday. So I had lunch first. Really nice. I had a matcha latte, and then I decided to work on the first page of my birthday journal. By the way, another plug, if you want this same birthday journal, because I made a printable of it, join my Patreon, because it's on there. Of course, it's a free printable that you can download and print as well. I worked on my first page, which was like fun things I wanted to remember from the past year, which meant that I went through my entire year in photos to look back on my favorite moments. This was so much fun. I saw so many things that I would have forgotten otherwise, and I wrote them down in a nice list. So that was like really fun thing to do. And then I decided to go to second place because my plan for the day was to hop and go to different restaurants and cafes and just have fun with it. So I did that. I was hoping to get some pie there, but I was so full I only ended up having a lemonade. And I worked on most of the pages for my journal. So the journal basically consists of lists and things you want to remember, a word of the year. I made a bingo card for things that I want to do or see or try this year. There's so many fun things in here. I made a mood board for my new year. There's all sorts of pages. I won't spoil them all, but in this cafe I worked on most of them. I just have 2 more to fill out. One of them is my focus for the new year, and the other one is a letter to myself, because after I think I spent like an hour and a half maybe even working on it, and then I was kind of done. So I went to the second place, and then I went to a third place, which did have cute cakes, but they were almost out. So I had a Japanese cheesecake and a coffee. And then Gijs joined me, because he was messaging me throughout the day saying, hey, should I join you? Do you want to be alone? Do you not want to be alone? But I actually decided to tell him just to continue working, because I quite enjoyed my time alone. So that really felt like such a big step. I actually really enjoyed it. But then he did join me and finished a piece of my cheesecake, because when I walked to this cafe, I saw another cafe that I also had on my list, and I saw this carrot cake eyeing me from the display, and I was like, if Gijs finishes half of this cheesecake, I can also eat a carrot cake. So that's what we did. We went to another place, had another coffee and a carrot cake, and it was just so nice. I figured just to go for it. And then we went to, you're not gonna guess it, another place, and we had some sparkling wine to really like toast on my birthday. So that's cafe number 5. Number 5. I think it's number 5. I forgot. I lost track. And then went home, had a nap because I was absolutely exhausted from all my adventures. And then we went for dinner in this lovely Italian restaurant. It was really incredible. Probably best Italian food I've had ever. It was a really nice place. It was kind of fancy, but the staff was really friendly and welcoming and funny and quirky. It's difficult to pronounce. So that was a lovely experience. It was a really good choice for a restaurant, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And then we went to a wine bar for one last restaurant. So I ended up going to 7 different places in total. Which is kind of a lot, but that's like, it was my birthday, so I could spend it however I wanted. So yeah, I did want to share that because it felt like kind of an achievement. I had wanted to do this for so long, like to go to a cafe alone, and then I ended up going to 3 cafes alone. And I really enjoyed it. It was really nice. So I also put that on my bingo card for this year, to do like adventures like that more often. What I'm showing you here makes my heart really happy, because it's like all of these 3 elements that I'm going to put on this page have the same pale blue color, and I think it's so pretty, and it just makes me so happy when things accidentally match, because they're not in a set together. I just found them in my stash and they go together perfectly. So this project has more of that pale blue, as you can see on the left. I also have a label in that same color. And then I have this pet tape of the hydrangeas in the pale blue color. That's LOE Design, if I'm not mistaken. And then I have this girl sticker pet tape that I got from Maria as well. And she has a jacket in the same color, which all seems perfect. And then of course the ticket, which I've had in my stash for many, many years. The hydrangea on the other page is from Hippie Post as well. I cut that out by hand. And the butterfly is Album Love Handmade, in case you were wondering. So then I was a little stuck, and I decided just to add Nuvo drops, because one can never go wrong with Nuvo drops. And then this is a different day. I think I am wearing the same jacket, but sometimes I leave little notes for myself to remember an idea I had. And this note says wax seals, because I was really stuck on what to do for that last page, and then I realized it could actually be a really nice spot for some wax seals. So I went through my stash. I did not make these on the day itself because I haven't made wax seals in literally months. The only time I make wax seals is when I do like a reel or a YouTube short. And then of course I'm showing you some of the goodies that I included in this flipbook. These butterflies are Hippie Post as well. I am a member of her Patreon, and these are the printables you can download from there. They're incredible, and I cut them all out by hand. So I put a few in a gift bag, but because this is a labor of hand labor, I don't know how to call that, because I cut all these by hand, I cannot put too many because it's so much work. But I do think they're really cute. And then rather than closing the gift bag with the adhesive, I put the label sticker of Hippie Post that I also cut out, so that the gift bag can be repurposed. These are some of my own printables from Patreon last year. They're spring dictionary printables. I think they're very cute. I decided to add a few I had laying around. I added some labels. I added these stickers that are the first stickers are from Soft Ivory Studio, and then the sticker sheet is from Penpal Impala. And here is the finished look. The washi tapes on the sample are Note and Wish, just in case you were wondering. And then here is the finished pocket with all of the goodies. I really like showing this because it gives you inspiration for what to include in your own pen pal letters. There's the butterfly stickers with her logo on the back so that you know that they're from Hippie Post. There's my printables. These are die cuts that I made, and of course the tags, and then the stickers from Soft Ivory Studio. This pocket has all sorts of pet tape samples because I love that. I think my letter was also in that pocket, but it's not anymore, so I don't know where I left it. I really hope I did include it in the mail. That would have been silly if I just left it out, but I think it was in the mail. And then this page has some handmade wax seals, which I think is really cute. So that, my friends, is my video. I really hope you enjoyed this. If you're looking for more ideas to repurpose junk mail, I lost the word there, do stay posted because there's more coming. I also have a PO box opening video that I'm hoping to upload soon, and you can, of course, as mentioned before, check out my Instagram and my Patreon for more content, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye!